Good morning, Crossroads South. It is Tuesday, October 19th, and it is a bee day today. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. That is a quote from Amanda Gorman, who is the poet laureate that shared that beautiful poem, and this was just a quote from it last year. And today is Buddy Up Twins Day, and that means that you're buddying with people, even if you're not dressed the same today, that you're being a really good friend. And that quote just reminds us that you need to be brave enough to see it and brave enough to do it and be a good friend to others. Tomorrow is White Out Bullying, and so we want to wear white. And there's also an initiative going around with wearing blue to stand up to bullies. So if you wear white or blue, you're going to be covered tomorrow. And we want to make sure that we do that as a school, so we're looking towards that. I have a couple of reminders this morning on the morning announcements. Number one is that when you are in this school, I'm in my office and there's not a single person around, so that's why I have my mask down to do these morning announcements. But every other time you must have your mask on. It is not a choice, it is not an option, and we don't want some people who are being lazy about their masks to ruin school for the rest of us. We were locked up and kept away for a long time, and I don't want to go back to that, and I don't think you do either. So stop being lazy, put your masks on. It's worth it for the whole school. Speaking of, we have lots of cool events that are coming up in our school, and we don't want to miss that. If we end up having to close, we would miss those fun events. So let's keep it going and do your part. Speaking of fun events, we have Halloween coming up, and Halloween, for those of you who celebrate in the middle school, is very different from elementary school. In elementary school, you had parties and parades and things like that. In middle school, it's a little bit different. But here's the deal. I've been kind of disappointed with our behavior again, not by everyone, but by a small handful of kids. For example, lots of hand touching of other kids, grabbing backpacks, pulling kids down, pushing. And then when I stop somebody, they go, well, it wasn't me. First of all, talking back is so disrespectful. Own your behavior. You're in middle school now, you need to be responsible. Second of all, stop touching each other. Our hallways are busy, our outside at the bus is busy, and anytime that you think you are even, quote, joking, it's not funny when somebody gets hurt or some of their property gets damaged. The other thing I want to share with you is that we have lost the ability to take responsibility for our actions. So therefore, when I say to somebody, hey, why were you fooling around? I wasn't fooling around. That's your first instinct, is to say, not me. That's not true. Just so you know, we have about 90 cameras in this building. And every single time I say to students, if I check the cameras, what are the cameras going to show? Oh, well, maybe this. Listen, I'm checking the cameras and I'm seeing absolute inappropriate behavior. Again, your body should not be touching another student's body, period. That's important. I'm going to say that one more time. Your body should not be touching somebody else's. There are consequences for that. We are not at home. We are not in the neighborhood. You are here at school, and you're expected to behave appropriately. So you know what I'm talking about. Keep your hands off of each other. Here's the deal. As I talk about Halloween, I'm not sure that we can really celebrate and have some of these fun events if we can't follow our school rules. So I'm going to be watching in the lunchroom, at buses, in the hallways. And if I continue to see that kind of behavior, then we're not going to have the privilege of doing what we do here for Halloween. That's just the way it's going to be. So keep that in mind, folks. It takes everybody to do the right thing. So I'm really going to be watching, because the roughhousing and the stuff like that is just not safe for anybody. All right. To conclude our morning announcements for Tuesday, we always have a term. So our new term for this week is conundrum. And it sort of relates to what I was just talking about. Conundrum is a noun, and it's a confusing or difficult problem, or maybe a difficult question. And quite frankly, I'm in a conundrum when it comes to doing fun events with a school, when I'm not so sure that some of us can keep ourselves safe. That's a conundrum for me as a principal. I love to celebrate. I love to have fun things, but it is a conundrum when our student population's behavior is not the best right now. So, what to do in this conundrum? I challenge you to use that word. We are done with the morning announcements right now. Please stand for the salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And thank you for those of you who are willing to help me with this conundrum of behavior. Talk to you soon. Bye, Crossroads.